You people are studying in class 10th of Central Board of Secondary Education. Have you ever thought with the flight of imagination what the life would have been there in 2157? This is the time when I am making the video. This is the year of 2022. So if you minus it, then you would get 135. So after 135 years, how the life would have been? We are going to discuss about that in terms of education sector in this particular video, in this particular chapter. Fine. What's the name of the chapter? The Fun They Had, written by Isaac Asimov. Isaac Asimov was a Russian origin person. Fine. Then he immigrated and relocated himself to the United States of America. There he became a professor of biochemistry, and at the same point of time he used to write science-based fictions, that is called science fiction. Okay, now what is science fiction? Science fiction is nothing but let's say a story that is based on science. For example, if I give you the lively example in terms of movies, Bollywood movies, then I can cite Koi Mil Gaya of Hrithik Roshan, where alien comes from the other side of the earth, and one alien lives behind on earth, and that alien's spacecraft goes away from the earth. So this is a kind of alien invasion into the earth. Invasion means something is being trampled. Without your permission, someone has entered your house and tampering something. But in that movie, there was no wrongdoing activity had been committed by the alien. But then here I just want to make you understand the importance of aliens and how they came to the earth. This is a kind of theme that as Isaac Asimov used to write on. Fine. All I want to say this. And then he used to write as this kind of stories before. Now in this particular chapter, The Fun They Had, here you will get two major characters. Who are they? Tommy and Margie. Now we are studying a chapter that is going to be dealt with 2157 year. Fine. And during this year, how the education system persists, thrives, we are going to deal with that. Tommy is a 13-year-old boy. Tommy is a 13-year-old boy, and he has his classmate named Margie. She is 11-year-old girl. Suddenly, I am going to explain it very briefly. Fine, so that you can understand the theme of it. My motto is make you the understandability of its theme. Fine. Now, Tommy is much more familiar with the display of his desktop, where he is being imparted knowledge and education. That means knowledge and education both are being imparted by the means of the computer screen. Just if I give you one example of KBC, like this is the computer screen, and there is the let's say the question, and you are given 4 options. Fine, you are given 4 options. Now only one option will be correct. You have to click out of the 4. You have to click only one out of the 4, and that should be the accurate. If that is the accurate option, then you win some amount in KBC game. Kaun banega crorepati, I mean to say. So the same pattern is followed with their education system that is happening right in the year 2157. Clear up to this? Now suddenly Tommy found a printed book. What he found? Tommy found a printed book. Now what is a printed book? Of course you and I do read in 2022. That is called the printed book. Fine, this is not the digital book. How the printed book looks like? Of course like this. It has a cover, okay, and then here the printed sentences and words are written. You and I can physically touch it and sense it, and then we can read it up like that. So suddenly Tommy found this very book on the shelf. When Tommy inquired about the existence of this book, he came to learn that this very book belonged to great grandfathers of Tommy. Tommy is very much surprised and astonished to know that what kind of education system used to be back in the year 2022, let's say, or let's say maybe back then 2000, 2005, 2007, when the students used to go to the school all together, and then they used to learn right from the teacher who is alive, a human being who is actually physically moving and imparting knowledge whatsoever. Now Tommy is very much surprised to learn about this particular incident, finding the book on the shelf, and that book used to belong to great grandfathers of Tommy. Then all of a sudden Tommy surprisingly shows that particular book to whom? To Margie. To Margie. Then Margie is actually a girl who is 11 years old. Now during this phase of life, one kid, we can say kid, of course, so during this phase of time, one kid is very much innovative, very much curious to know more and more. Likewise, she is also, Margie is also very much surprised to learn that there was a time when children used to go to school, and then they used to get the education, get the knowledge right from a physical teacher who used to move just like you and me, of course, human beings. So Margie is quite fascinated to learn about this particular incident. Now Margie had been suffering a kind of technical problem on her PC, personal computer, that was just located beside her room, and that very room is only the classroom. There was full of digitalization took place, that no physical teacher, no alive teacher, no human being was there to teach. There was only the screen and the words written on it and the display that is being flashed. Only with that particular scenario, the children of 2157 during this year, the children are supposed to acquire knowledge, to acquire education. Now the exams were going on with Margie, and the exam of geography, as if you go through the text, you will find it that the exam of geography was going on. What happened, just if I give you another lively example, before starting any game, during this phase of time, during 2022, you are initially asked to select your level. What kind of level? Whether it is easy, whether it is medium, whether it is difficult. So 3 levels are to be displayed. You have to select only one. If I select initial level, that is easy level, then my game would be easier. If I choose the middle one, that is the middle, you can say medium stage or medium level, then my game will be medium, of course, and difficult level for the hardest one. Okay, so that's how. So what used to happen before taking the exams by the students, they are being asked what kind of level should he or she be going through. So perhaps by mistake, of course, something might have happened during that time, before, at the time of selection. So she was spotting, she was observing that her exams, that her exam was at higher level, that means difficult level, and she was getting flunked over the time. She was unable to pass that very exam. So due to it, she had to fix her desktop, fix her let's say computer. So what happened later on, her mother called up county inspector. Now who is county inspector? County inspector is a mechanic who actually fixes the problems happening to the computers or the other technical areas of desktop itself. Now that particular person comes and fixes this very problem. And how this time during the year of 2022, how the children are being conducted the exams. Actually what happens during this phase of time, if you just eradicate the stage of corona, then we go to school, we go to college, we go to the university, and we just sit for the exams, and then the invigilator comes, and after the completion of our exam, what happens? He just takes our all answer scripts and sign it. All these processes have been performed by the invigilator itself. Now here, after the completion of your exam, I mean to say the scenario that is happening right in the 2157, during this time what's happening, once you are done with your exam, your answer scripts, your other papers have to be asserted into the slots of the computer, into the your examination papers have to be inserted into the slots of the computer. That's how your evaluation will take place, that this much you have graded, you have been awarded, so and so forth. So ultimately that problem of facing the higher difficulty, and who is facing Margi, has been resolved. So that's how the this very science fiction, the fun they had, written by Isaac Asimov, is finished. Thanks.